Welcome to MK Chess Academy. So today in this video, I am going to explain you the sacrificing tactic, which is the most powerful tactic. So I am going to explain it with the a recent game which I played, where I was playing black and my opponent is playing white. If you try to analyze this position, it is pretty much same position we have, where we both have queens, we both have two rooks each. I have bishop and knight, whereas my opponent has two bishops, and we both have seven pawns each, which is pretty much equal position, and it's a neck to neck close game. So at this scenario, my opponent uh, played a mistake where he played f3. So f3 is a mistake, and now the black can capitalize on this mistake. Maybe I will pause on this video, or like I will just wait for a few seconds. You can try to find out what is the next best move for black here to capitalize the mistake which white did moving f3. Okay, let me explain you. Here in this position, I try to sacrifice my knight, playing knight capture d4, where I got the pawn. Like I'm trading my, I'm getting pawn and I'm giving away my knight. The main idea behind this is here at the same time I am going to give a threat to the opponent queen as well. Here if my opponent captures the knight back, I am going to get one more pawn. Like now the next step which my opponent did is he captured the knight. Now I try to gain the control on the center, capturing the d4 pawn. Now here in this position, if we see, right, both the bishops are on threat. I can get at least one bishop. I can capture back one bishop, and I gave my knight. I'm going to capture one bishop back. At the same time, I captured two crucial pawns, so that I can get the upper hand on this on the position. Now, maybe I just pass on few seconds to find out what is the best move for white here. Yeah. So here the best move for white is rook c1, so that he can try to do a checkmate threat to me, and he can trade off his bishop on d3 with my pawn on a6. Like in case if the opponent moves rook to c1, I have to move my rook from d8 to d7, so that I can give protection to my c7 pawn to avoid checkmate. Then opponent can capture my pawn back on a6 with his d3 bishop. But here my opponent did one more mistake, where he thought he will be losing one of the bishop, and he can save both the bishops by moving bishop to e4. So in this scenario, I cannot capture e4 bishop because e4 is protected by f3 pawn, and so f4 bishop is blocked by e4 bishop. So in this particular position, I cannot get either of the bishops. Like I cannot capture either of the bishops, but this position opened for the checkmate. So because of trying to not to give his bishop back, the opponent made a mistake by open the king and have a checkmate threat. Maybe I'll just pause on for a few seconds to find out what is the best move for black here. Okay, here the best move for black is giving check on queen g1. So this is the best move. Now if we can see, the d file is already blocked by my black rook, and f file is already blocked by queen, both f2 and f1. Now the queen has only escaping square, which is e2. Okay, now the next step is I did give a check on queen g2. Now here again the opponent has two escaping squares. One is on e3 and another one is e1. Both will give the lead to checkmates. But my opponent went on e3, okay, which is again a checkmating square. Maybe I'll just pause on for a few seconds to find out the best move for black here. Okay, here the next best move is sacrificing my bishop to do the checkmate. So this is the brilliant step where we are trying to sacrifice our bishop. At the same time, this kind of thing is called deflection tactic, where I can, if I move my queen to d2, it will be a checkmate. But the queen d2 is already blocked by opponent queen, so I'm just trying to deflect the opponent queen here, sacrificing my bishop. Here king doesn't has any escape squares and king is on threat. Now my opponent doesn't has any option, he has to capture my bishop back. Then I can go ahead and give a checkmate on d2. Okay, so this is how we have to think about how to sacrifice the piece. Here in this position you can see, right, I captured two minor pieces, bishop and knight. At the same time I did a checkmate. Okay, now I just want to give a puzzle to all the audience, like where in case if in this position if opponent moves to king e1, so what is the best step we had to do the checkmate. Okay, thanks for watching the video. In the next video we'll discuss about what happens if opponent would have moved from king e2 to king e1. Thanks for watching.